red button.
I did.
Gina!
Yes.
What's up, Gina?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing, oh my god, I'm doing good.
Todo bien?
Yeah.
Already recording. How's everything?
Everything's good. I mean, I've been, you know, you've seen my videos, I've been lifting everything and everything, so I'm still kind of feeling that pain in the back of my
Shoulder
middle back.
blade?
Yeah, like just right in between like my back in the middle.
Okay.
And then a few days ago, I felt like a numbness all over my hip.
The hip, the right hip?
The right hip. So it's like any like a movement that I would do outwards, like when it came to stretching, my whole leg would just get so numb. So.
Okay. What movements caused that?
I think it was when I was doing hip thrust. I think the pressure that I was putting on myself, I think that's what caused it more on this side.
Do you have pain in the front, the outside, or the back?
More like in the middle and then on the side. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me scope some things out. You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's have you go on your stomach.
All right, so for my back, it's right here.
Okay.
I want to say like under my shoulder blade or my back. And then for the hip, it's on this side.
Okay, the right side.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Right
Let's relax both arms down.
Pain. I don't know if maybe it was just for the day.
Okay. Your hip flexor and quad here are very, very tight, which means that your hip comes up a lot at the bottom. So you have a hip imbalance right now. We have two bones here. It's called the pelvis. They aid you to walk back and forth. Now, when you've had a hip imbalance for a very long time, what happens is that this bone starts to shift lower. So what happens is that all the glute muscles, they start to overly act up, right? They start getting really tight and they start pulling you on the back, on the outside, and on the front. So what's happening here is you have a hip imbalance, you're putting a lot of pressure onto the back part of the butt area and the outside, and you're tightening up the hip flexor a little bit too much. That the sciatic nerve and all the nerves that come from the low back, they go right through the butt area. So when they get really tight, they start putting a lot of pressure onto the sciatic nerve. And that'll cause you to feel some type of numbness and tingling down the leg. Mm-hmm. Now, what's happening here is that you're not symmetrical. You're not bearing weight evenly on both sides, which means that you're putting a lot of pressure on one side in comparison to the other. So what we have to do is balance you out so that you don't get injured in the gym, especially when you're doing lower body. So I really like to loosen up the glute area, the glute medius, glute minimus in here, and the TFL. Anybody ever tell you, damn, Gina?
All the time.
The Martin?
Yeah.
The Martin show?
All the time.
Dude. I'm gonna stick my main elbow into your back. You might feel a little bit of pressure. Is that painful?
It's good.
Okay, good. Oof. I really like to loosen up the low back paraspinal. I like to loosen up the QL right here, Gina, which is obviously a little bit painful. Want to get the glute too, bear with me, you're gonna hate me. And that's that glute medius. Want to really loosen it up to get it from stop pulling you so much, right? You're gonna hate me, but I'm gonna get that TFL on the outside of the top part of the hip too. Good. And the external rotators of the hip.
I'm feeling it. Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It hurts so good.
Yeah. So good.
That's the spot, huh?
Yeah.
That's the spot. So for her, it's the glute medius. It does a lot of hip movement.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. We're gonna do two big ones there. We got one more. Y otro más. Bear with me. Breathe in and boom. Good job.
Good job.
This is good to help with all the adhesions that you've built up throughout the years. And it feels a little bit scratchy, but it'll help to give you a little bit more range of motion so you don't start putting so much pressure on this. It'll loosen up your quadratus here, your QL, your paraspinal. And you can see where it starts getting really red. That's where she has like a lot of that buildup right here. That is like scar tissue, adhesion buildup.
You recommend they take it easy there, Dr. J?
I'm a huge advocate of them working out after treatment, just because that's when you're most balanced. Now granted, it's very important to listen to your body, and that's really good because athletes are very in tune with their body, and you'll be able to know like, okay, this is something that I can typically do as far as weight's concerned, and this is not. You know, if I'm really going to really purposely damage the tissue, then at that point I won't have them work out. Yeah. Sometimes I'll do that for my shoulder pain patients. Right now what we're working on with her is more so mobility. The spine is one complete bone. We have the neck, the mid back, the low back, right? One segment. If there's pain here, there's more than likely compensation somewhere else as well. So for her, she has a lot of pressure being built up right here. So bear with me on this one. Bring down and relax. Relax everything in the front part of the hip and push down and relax. It's a really, really good hip flexor stretching. You need to start doing it, by the way. Push down. All right, Gina, I'm gonna move some bones in here. Good. Good. Relax here. Good. We've addressed the muscles, we've addressed everything, now we just have to address the bones. So I'm gonna push here. You won't fall, I promise. Just relax everything. Good. Good. Let's get the other side. Perfect. Hold that right there and just relax everything. Good. Good. And let's go face up. Now we're gonna get the neck too. Good. Now I'm gonna push here. Bear with me. One more. Beautiful. Woo. Good job, Gina. You survived with Dr. J. Good. How you feel?
I feel so good.
All right, good. Good job. You did really good today.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. There's times where like before I begin a workout, say like I'm doing my warm up, and then I do my stretches, then I feel like this tense on my back, so I have to like hang myself on like the bar or whatever, so my whole back can cramp. Is that something that's normal or?
So what I would recommend first and foremost, as far as that tightness, you need to start giving it more maintenance from a rolling perspective. Put a ball against the wall and start rolling this whole thing here and here, because it just simply means that you're overworking your body so much to the point where it's like if one part doesn't hurt, the other one feels uncomfortable. So start foam rolling that a little bit more. The fact that it clicks and pops like that, it just means that it's your normal. But I wouldn't do it too much, because then you don't want things to get too loose. You know, you don't want that.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I do it, so I can loosen up on my top. When it comes to upper body.
Yeah, and by the way, to get rid of that hip thing, you need to start rehabbing it with bands. So put a band on top of your knee, right, and do these babies right here. Do it every angle. I like to go back. I like to go diagonal at a 45-degree angle and outward like that. And you can start doing crab walks and things like that to stabilize you, because right now you're putting a lot of pressure on one side in comparison to the other. You have a glute not activating as much as the other. So you want to balance those two out so that they're equally strong, so that when you go down for a deadlift, then you're not like this, and when you go down for a squat, you're not like that either. Right. That's important, because like that can potentially lead to like pinched nerves and things like that. So you don't want that.